Welcome to Cabbage Impact Bird. Again! Yeah, this event just returned. For no apparent reason except that. Why not? And surely we're going to spend all stream today picking cabbages. Because what else would we do? Right? Right. Cab again! I mean, it is by far the best event they can make, so why not make it again? Oh hey, we have reached the desert. Desert is the natural home of the cabbage. At least the boggy cabbage. They should have made a pumpkin event for Halloween. There was no Halloween event at all this year, I feel. Which was kinda weird. Anyways, I'm not gonna wait here until I have my daily 120 cabbages. I'm just going to hope they'll grow while we do actual things in the game. Well, I say actual things, but we might not be having a single fight today. Because we're only going to be tackling the story of Honkai Quest, which is now 100% completed through the efforts of everyone on this server. Thank you very much, everyone. And going by past events, I'm pretty sure that going through the story like this will cut out any kinds of battles. So we are just going to be listening to the story unfold, either through the game talking or me talking. That's all we are going to do today. There's two sides of the story: the adventurer's journey, which is the main story of Honkai Quest. What she seeks is but a dream. Where will she go after the dream ends? Watch Delta's personal story under the Old Dreams tab. Watch Seely and Delta's adventure story under the Adventure's Journey tab. Yeah, this pretty much explains it. Old Dreams is Delta's story, while Adventurer's Journey is the story of Seely and Delta. I'm not entirely sure how long each of these will be, so we'll have to find out together how long today's stream will be. I'm going to go through this one and the whole, I guess, and then finish off with these 4 chapters. That's probably going to make for a decent flow of the story. So without further ado, let the Honkai Quest begin. We are almost there. Everything will be okay, Seely. The Bronya will be back soon. Adventurer will defeat the Dark Lord. Bronya, wait for me. But if the Bronya doesn't come back... Seely, don't come looking for the Bronya. Bronya. You're a liar! Give my Bronya back! Bronya? I don't know what you're talking about, Master Adventurer. Don't play dumb with me, you foxy Dark Lord. What? The Dark Lord? There must be some misunderstanding. I can explain, Master Adventurer. After we got separated, I found a downy, greenish fruit in the forest. I took just one bite and then passed out. And when I woke up, I found myself in this dark castle. Master Adventurer, I swear I... Save it! From the very beginning, you had been pretending to be an innocent novice adventurer to lower my guard. But just when we were about to acquire the ancient relic, you disappeared all of a sudden. The relic hears the inner voices of all, including the Dark Lords. Well then, my dear adventurer, what kind of inner voice are you hearing at the moment? It's of course... Eh? Master Adventurer, I think we are lost. Look, I found these yummy fruits for us. Watch out! How come? Alas, my dear adventurer, you're still that useless coward. No, I'm not. I already defeated all of your devil soldiers. And now it's your turn, you foxy Dark Lord. Is that so? And why didn't you kill me when you had the chance just now, my dear adventurer? Relax, my dear adventurer. We still got plenty of time, so why don't we take a look back at our little adventure? The woods guarded by the elves, the ruins full of contradictions, and the floating isles on the edge of the troop. Where did things start to go wrong? Where did they go wrong? Bronya. Seely. Voldemort. Yes. Clearly don't speak their names. Where did things start to go wrong? Song of the Brave, Act 3, Scene 3, ended. Thank you all for your support to our show. Take care. You're so cool, Miss Adventurer, especially in that scene where you exposed the Dark Lord. Are you leaving tomorrow, Miss Adventurer? Uh-huh. You've already stayed here for 3 days. It's about time. After all, there's a Dark Lord out there for us to defeat. You can do this, Miss Adventurer. I believe you can beat the Dark Lord and save your sister. Yeah, beat the Dark Lord up. I hate it. The children at the auditorium were twittering loudly. Sorry, they're just so excited. Alright kids, time to go home. You've been bothering these ladies for too long. Peace soon returned to the little stage at the edge of the woods. Seely then came to Delta to pick up the prop sword. Kids, my ears hurt. That's a very good face. Actually, both of these faces are very good. I'm sorry, Miss Delta. It didn't mean that. I know. It's alright. I have to say, you did a good job on stage. You've made great progress compared to your practice this morning. I did. Thank you for your approval, Miss Delta. It's not my approval that you've earned. It's the audience's. Whoa, it's not my approval that you've earned. It's the audience's. This line is so cool. Did you see my notepad? I gotta write this down. Maybe I get to say it too on stage someday. It's not a big deal, but before you do that, Seely, could you please put this thing away? She pointed to the sword, piercing her collar. Delta was still maintaining a parrying posture for the finale. Seely clearly had forgotten all about it after her chat with Delta. Ah, I'm sorry. I'll remove it right now. You sure apologize a lot. I mean, I'll try to say it less often. Sorry almost slipped out of her lips, but she swallowed the word down when her eyes met Delta's. Seeing that Delta was in no mood to continue the topic, Seely tried to change the subject. To be honest, I'd be surprised to see your transformation on stage if we hadn't practiced together several times. Transformation? Uh-huh. I mean, you always look cold. I didn't expect you could bring an innocent, reckless character to life. I have this feeling that what you've shown in your acting is much more sincere than acting. It's like you've been reenacting your own life. Ah, that was not what I meant. I was just trying to say that you are an excellent actress. Delta squinted her blue eyes for a second, but she instantly straightened her face. Acting is easy. It's just a form of muscle memory training. I can play the part of an innocent idiot well, just like you can play a brave adventurer well. Actually, I wish I could do more than playing my part well. You want to become a brave adventurer in real life and find your sister, don't you? Yes. Huh, that's cute. You can start from apologizing less, brave adventurer. It's getting dark. Pack your stuff up. Let's go check what's in the woods. As we agreed earlier, you can lead the way. Delta left as soon as she finished her words. Her lone figure reminded Seely of how they first met. It couldn't have been more than a week ago before she met this girl who called herself Delta. At the alchemist shop, Seely clenched her purse as her eyes kept jumping between the shelves. One crude crystallite. Oh, actually, I'll have two. And one moonlit agate. Plus 3 rumbleberries. Thanks. Coming right up. Here you are. That will be 30 gold. That's so pricey. Huh? Oh, sorry. I think I forgot to bring my purse. I'm so sorry. Seely bowed to the shop assistant repeatedly before she turned around and left in a hurry. Long after she couldn't even see the shop, Seely stopped and sighed in relief before she sat down on the street bench. Of course. It's still too early for me to upgrade my weapon. She took out a slice of dry bread and began to eat. Crumbs fell down and attracted many pigeons. She paid no heed to these birds. She took out a booklet titled Adventurer's Guide, version 2.0.3, with Bronya's notes, and skipped to the last page. P.S. Don't worry for me, Seely. I will defeat the Dark Lord and come back to you in no time. But in case I don't make it back, don't come looking for me. But Bronya, I've got to look for you. Her hand gently slid through the worn page, as if to feel the warmth left by the last reader. Huh, my gold is running out. I should probably go to the Adventures Guild to pick up some errands and get paid. Just follow the guide step by step. I'll become a worthy adventurer one day, like Bronya. Seely stood up abruptly and patted her cheeks. That's right, Seely, you can do it. You can absolutely do it. 1 hour later, Adventurers Guild. My name is Seely. Alright, got it. No need to yell, miss. Where did you come from? I came from a village called Undine's Tale. It's a bit far away. Took me 7 days on the adventurous path. Adventurous path? It's been a long while since anyone set foot on it. Yeah, I didn't see anyone else on the trail, and our village doesn't get any visitors these days. My flower shop is not having any business either, and there's no one to bring me any news about Bronya. So I had to close the shop and come here myself to find Bronya. Which means you were an NPC at the flower shop, and now you want to turn adventurer? What does NPC mean? Oh no, you literally know nothing. Listen up, miss. In a typical adventure game, the adventurer is the most important and only controllable character. And all the rest characters, including you, are just stage props to decorate the adventurer's journey. Understood? When he spoke, the bearded man kept knocking on the Adventurers Guild sign with his knuckles. Seely didn't understand much, but in her eyes the 2 words suddenly became dazzling with unmatched glory. What was I thinking about? Becoming an adventurer seems a million times harder than I imagined. But the Adventurers Guide says the guild can give new adventurers quests for them to earn gold and experience. The man took a quick glimpse at the booklet in her hand and finished his drink in one go. Yeah, it does say that. The time has changed, young lady. That's okay. I don't mind if it's boring or hard. I can take less pay. Be that as it may, I'm afraid I don't have many quests for you. Maybe you can try this one first. I've got to warn you first, it's the easiest kind of quest, and I can only pay you 1 gold. The man grabbed the rolled up and worn out paper from under the counter, handed it to Seely. I'll take it. Thank you so much, sir. I finally got a quest. I'm on it right now. Seely carefully folded the quest sheet and put it in her pocket before she ran out of the door. Her heart had soared up and taken to the sky, and it was no wonder she missed everything the man said later. Phew, that's easy. Gotta give it you. You're a master of scams. The man filled himself up and took a sip. My tricks only work on small girls who haven't seen any of the world yet. Come on, don't sell yourself short. I'd easily fall for it if it wasn't a frequent at your place. Don't tell me you believe running errands for him makes you an adventurer. You'd be a bigger fool than I reckoned. Ha ha! The world we live in today. We don't have any adventurers, and we sure don't need one. Damn right! With the Dark Lord gone, adventurers are nothing but jokes. Come on, let's drink some more. 8 hours later. The quest wasn't particularly hard. Deliver some freshly brewed beer back to the guild. But to do that, Seely needed first to get some beer from the brewery outside the town. And to do that, she needed to source some wheat and hops for the brewery. The hops part was easy, but wheat had to be fetched from the other side of the town. Oh no, not the wheat. And to get her hands on the wheat, she needed to knock down the magical scarecrow guarding the wheat field. To defeat the scarecrow, she needed to upgrade her weapon, which again involved shopping at the alchemist shop. The purchase for the upgrade wasn't really cheap, and Seely's very thin purse certainly didn't help. After figuring it all out, Seely travelled across the town back and forth, from dawn till dusk. Fortunately, at the end of the day, Seely managed to return to the guild with 2 barrels of freshly brewed beer. Phew! Even a beginner adventurer requires a lot more effort than working at the flower shop. But I think I'm on the right track to becoming a strong adventurer. She worked hard to hold down her excitement, try not to look so rookie. After making sure everything was ready again, she took a deep breath and pushed open the front door of the guild. Help! Hey, old guy. Quit playing dead. Show me your bite when you start fooling me. Guildmaster, I'm back. Huh? Who the heck are you? Hey you! Don't pass out here! Hey! Well, that's one way to meet. Sure is scary paint. A heavy smell of drunkards overwhelmed her instantly and almost knocked her out. Actually, she did pass out. And when she finally woke up from the knockout, why does the sky look so blue? She thought hard for a moment before she realized she should be looking at the guild's roof instead of the blue sky. Well, the roof was torn down just a minute ago or so. The Adventurers Guild on the wall was smeared by paint splash. The solemn guildmaster was now hanged upside down. Everything was in a mess, and the culprit was sitting at the counter, sizing up a barely awake Seely. Looks like this one will be fine. Without the blood-like paint on her face, the strange girl began to look a lot less scary in Seely's eyes. Since you're alright, I should bounce now. Got business. If I scared you, sorry, that wasn't my intention. The girl grabbed the bottle by her, leapt off the counter and walked out. Seely found her no taller than herself. Wait! Seely didn't even know why she said that. What? You wanna revenge the bastard? You can't drink. You're still underage like me. It's cherry juice, I don't drink. Is it too weird for the tavern to stock some cherry juice for cocktails? Tavern? Isn't here the Adventurers Guild? Alright, the Guildmaster. We have to help him. Seely barely got up when she found a giant sword came swooshing down right before her, blocking her way. I can see why you brought the cheap scam in the first place now. Never seen an easier mark than you. What? This place is a tavern, through and through. Only it's named Adventurers Guild. Huh? The bastard probably had got tons of dopes like you to work for him free in the name of the guild. He tried to pull his old trick on me. It didn't work, and well, things got a little bit physical. Hey, what's wrong? Seely collapsed to the floor and froze like a statue. She simply couldn't face the music. The glorious Adventurers Guild on the wall now seemed more like a blinding mockery at her stupidity. Wait, you came here because you wanted to become adventurer too, right? Huh? You got it all wrong, miss. I'm just looking for something in the tower, and I came here only because someone might show me the way. The tower? That would be the Dark Castle. You wanna go there? Doesn't matter whether I want or not. I've got a reason to be there. I'm going there too. My sister Bronya. She went there and never returned. The guild is the only lead I have. I don't want to stop here. So let's do this together. Huh? You look incredibly strong. You're probably the strongest besides Bronya. And that's why I need to bring you along to slow me down? I'm not going to slow you down. I can fight too. See this? Seely stood up and proudly swung her weapon a few times, only to be sniffed at by the girl. I also have this, the Adventurer's Guide. From the swindler? No, it's not. Bronya left me this. It has all the knowledge you need to know as an adventurer. The way to get to the Dark Castle, too. Cross the Emerald Woods to reach the Elder Ruins and find the way to the Floating Isles with the Grand Sage's help. Sounds pretty easy. Thanks, miss. Girl patted on Seely's shoulder and passed her by to walk out of the tavern. Seely tried to follow her, but a giant sword once again blocked her way, and said no to her in a loud and clear way. Why are you following me? Aren't we partners? The book says every adventurer travels with partners. You weren't listening. I told you I'm no adventurer, and I don't want to be one. Plus, I don't need a partner either. But... No but! Stop following me! The girl sounded just as icy as her face. She wasn't even angry. She was simply denying Seely's childish request. Seely wanted to say something more, but then she realized she wasn't in any place to make a request. Just then, a most unbefitting sound broke the awkward silence. I have some dry bread. Would you like some? You... Do you take me for a stray cat that takes food from any hand? Heh, if you were, you'd certainly be a fierce kitten that greets anyone with your bare teeth. Take it. You're welcome. It doesn't taste good, but it will make your belly stop singing. The girl hesitated for a moment before she dropped her weapon to take the bread. Thanks. So, guess we are partners now, right? Follow me if you must, but don't expect me to protect you. No. I can protect myself. Don't lie to yourself, Seely. You're weak and you know it. All right. So think this as me returning the favor. I'll train you. Hard. Huh? Don't act surprised, miss. I just need some distraction to kill the boring time. And training with Delta may get you killed. So it's probably too early to cheer for it, understand? Delta? Is that her name? Sounds familiar. All right. It was written on the tavern's wall. What now? Are you regretting? No. No matter how hard it is, I can definitely keep up. Thank you so much, Madame Delta. Ha! I like your attitude. Beats the two breads by a mile. But stop calling me that. Do I look that old to you? No. It's just that you handle things in a mature way. If you don't like it, I can simply call you Miss Delta. Well, that's slightly better. Present time, the center of Emerald Woods. The spring was splashing and leaves were whistling. Fresh sunshine announced the beginning of a new day. And it also announced the nightly search of Seely and Delta was totally in vain. Let's take a break here, Seely. I'm fine, Miss Delta. Not sleepy at all. Drowsy and dizzy, Seely didn't see the tree right in front of her and bumped into it hard. Ouch, that didn't hurt at all. I'm an adventurer, strong and tough. Seely tried to get on her feet, but Delta approached her and held her down with her hand on Seely's shoulder. Rest, Seely. You are tired. Yeah, she sure seems to have bumped several times by the sound of it. Oh, okay. Delta lifted her hand and sat down by the tree, while Seely lay down on the thick and soft leaves. Miss Delta? What? I've been training with you for a while. Do you think I'm a qualified adventurer yet? At first, I thought I was gonna train with dumbbells and sandbags, but it turned out to be acting on the stage. Dumbbells and sandbags? They are not for you. At least not now. As a touring troupe, we can make some dough to feed ourselves and get rid of the usual adventurer troubles. As for the sword fighting, it's just part of the play, but I figure that's quite enough for your level right now. Yeah, right. Every time we put on the show, you scare me a lot, like you were the real Dark Lord. Well, maybe your feeling is telling the truth. Spooked, Seely jumped up on her feet instantly and met Delta's enigmatic eyes. You look super scary all of a sudden. Well, follow me, and there'll be no shortage of scarier freaks along the way. That I can guarantee. Huh? Someone even more scarier than you? I can't imagine. You'll know when it comes. Seely, this Jinn we are seeking. Where is she now? Let me see. According to the guide, she lives at the center of the woods, by the clearest spring. Only with the water Jinn's help can adventurer cross the woods and reach the ruins that lie behind. No adventurer would miss her dwelling, because gods will guide them there. That's what the book says. Miss Delta, was I cheated again? Ah! Seely's face turned red in an instant. She held her head and rolled over the leaves, weeping out loud. But a minute hardly passed before she stopped. Miss Delta, there's a road signboard under the leaves. A signboard? Yeah, it says, the water Jinn is not ahead. Which means she's actually ahead, right? Something occurred to Delta, and she swung her sword to sweep clear all the leaves ahead. And before their eyes now lay one signboard after another. Turn around, the water Jinn's definitely isn't ahead. Keep going, you'll find no water Jinn. So the water Jinn is definitely ahead, right? Sounds like it. I hope she isn't just ahead. It would be an awkward conversation if she was just ahead. Especially if it is the usual water Jinn. This was the clearest spring in the woods, clearer than the sky and glittering like a sapphire. And the master of the spring, the silver-haired Jinn, was sitting by the spring, looking all sullen. Yes, ahead is better than everything but ahead. That is true. Anyway, she has a full body. Will an adventurer visit today? Yes, no, yes, no. She kept picking the petals of the flower in her hand, not aware of the two strangers approaching. That's the water Jinn. Miss Delta, we found her. Shh. Don't alert her, Seely. Watch closely before we move. Oh, okay. Well, looks like no adventurer is coming today. She lowered her head and stared at her lonely reflection in the water. Young adventurer, did you lose this golden coin to the spring? Or this silver one? It's been so long since I asked someone this question. Gold coin? All right. It's in the book. To win the water djinn's favor, you need to toss a gold coin into the spring. Nothing pleases her more. And a side note, the more coins you toss in, the better the sound, and the more likely the water djinn notices. That sounds like a scam to me. Just when Celie took out a handful of coins from the backpack, Delta signaled her to stop. She pulled out something round and shining and tossed it into the water. So it is gacha. Correct assessment. The sound of golden coins dropping into the spring. Finally, an adventurer has come to visit. The water djinn stepped on the water to walk to where Celie and Delta hid. I just noticed what's weird about this image. We were talking about just the head, but this is the wrong face for this model, or not the usual face for this model. This is a regular Kiana face on her short white body. That's interesting. The water djinn stepped on the water to walk to where Celie and Delta hid. She waved her hand, and what Delta dropped in the water was brought up to her, wrapped in spring water. Well, this summer outfit of Fascia of White does have indeed umbrella wings. For no apparent reason. It's very silly indeed. Young adventurer, is this your... Huh? What's with these arcade tokens? And two stick together? Can't even use them! Darn it! Who's messing with me? Show yourself! Miss Delta, I think the water djinn is upset. Miss Delta? Celie turned around and found Delta gone. Hey water djinn, what's up? You must be the prankster who tossed these tokens, right? The colors even match yours, pink and cyan. Yeah, that's right, so give me back those tokens now. That's no way to treat a djinn who can help you become a worthy adventurer. You came here with no respect. I'll never... Ah! Delta broke her words with a swift slash. The blade missed the water djinn by a mere inch and parted the water. I say that's respect enough, don't you agree? Now it's your turn to repay my respect. Answer me, water djinn. Where can I find the ruins hidden behind the woods? Miss Delta is so impressive. She makes the perfect adventurer. But the water djinn is no slouch either. She didn't even blink before Delta's sword. Standing right behind Delta, Celie waited for the water djinn to reply, but she remained still and emotionless. I'm so very sorry, dear adventurers. Please come here and wash away your travel's weariness in the refreshing spring. Alright, and please take them. Stamina potions handmade by me. Delta and Celie were both baffled. They saw a water djinn who was bowing and apologizing non-stop. And then she took out 2 bottles out of nowhere, filled them with spring water and handed them over to Celie and Delta. Just some spring water. No. This spring water is blessed by the goddess of water. It can cleanse your soul and wash away your sins. And if you don't mind, dear adventurers, you can bath in the spring and rinse the stigmata on your backs. Sounds impressive. So this is what a djinn is capable of. No adventurer can take down the Dark Lord without my help. Is the spring's power really coming from you? So, Ronja must have received your help, right? I'm looking for her, but I'm kind of lost. Ron. Oh yeah, I helped her a lot too, of course. Lying comes with a price, Water Djinn. Anyway, she must have taken the adventurous path, just like every adventurer before her. But the map on the adventurous guide shows the path ends before the woods. That's because I didn't draw it on the map. No, I mean, here comes the great Water Djinn's first advice. Seely's adventurous guide. May this idiot Djinn came up with the first edition. Flowing spring will point out the direction for you. Oh, I see. Seely took out her pen and wrote it down in the booklet, totally unaware of what Delta tried to say, but didn't. Just follow the spring, right? Got it. Thanks, Djinn. Wait, adventurers! You can't be at the ruins yet. Huh? But why? Because there's a deer-headed monster. No, actually, there are two. Deer-head monster? Deer-head monster? Yeah, they are pretty tricky to handle. They guard the entrance to the ruins and test anyone who wishes to pass. Protectors of the forest, I doubt they can give me any trouble. That might be true, but still, there's no need to do this the hard way. The reason being, they're only active in the day, and they fall asleep after the sunset, which is the best time to defeat them. But isn't that cheating? How can we prove our worthiness without passing the trial? That's not cheating, only a shortcut. Adventurers are supposed to be more than one-track-minded knuckleheads. Well, your partner may have enough reason to ignore the deer-headed monster, but you? Seely pinched her fingers anxiously. She knew full well what the Water Djinn meant to say. Seely, we'll wait till nightfall. What? I couldn't care less about the trial, and I'm not wasting my stamina on it. Miss Delta. She patted on Seely's shoulder and sat down on a rock by the spring. Hey, idiot Djinn. Do you serve anything else than spring water? No juice? Cherry would be great. Or blueberry? What do you take me for? A waitress NPC? And quit calling me that. Thus that day, where Emerald Woods and Elder Ruins connect. The sun rose as usual that day, and its warmth wrapped her up like a snug blanket. Sweet dreams soon caught her. In or out of the dreams, she was always the guardian and the knight who'd challenge every adventurer fair and square. In the dream, she began to think of that adventurer girl again. She didn't laugh much, but this emotionless girl made her look almost like a smiley doll in comparison. She had seen many adventurers. Some were easily defeated, while some gave her a real challenge. This girl clearly belonged to the former type. She couldn't help reminding the girl that she could train herself elsewhere before coming back for another challenge. But this girl wouldn't listen. She kept coming for more defeats. Slowly and slowly, she became a trainer for her rather than a challenge giver. Slowly and slowly, She began to forget why she guarded the entrance to the ruins. Slowly and slowly, she started to pity the girl. You know there is no turning back, and you don't even know what's waiting ahead, she reminded the girl. But still the girl unsheathed her sword for the 99th time. And just like the 98 times before, her sword was knocked off. The sun rose and set. Finally, on one day, the girl passed the trial, bid her farewell, set foot on the path, and never returned. The sun set as usual this day. The moonlight gently woke her up and captured the remnants of her dream. Was someone tricked? Does she wake up at night? That's not nice of you, Watergen. The deer-headed knights came to her and told her about the day in the woods and the arrival of 3 strangers. They walked into the Emerald Woods, a place she couldn't and wouldn't leave. She was the lock keeping the old forest and humanity's last home away from worldly troubles. The deer-headed knights were a blessing from the gods, who stood guard for her while she rested in dreams. When the moon lit up the woods and she recovered from the dreams, the knights would join her eternal watch. She now walked out of the misty woods to stand before the 3 strangers. Leave in peace, strangers, you shall not pass. Ha! I got to tell you, she is the most difficult one to deal with around here. Watergen, why are you here? I should ask you the same, Forest Djinn. Why are you still keeping this pointless pact? This is my mission. So we waited till night and we get the toughest guy. Interesting. Hold on, Delta. I know her. She's stubborn, but she got a good soul. Let me talk to her and maybe we can sort this out. I know a much easier way. Delta lifted her greatsword and took a step ahead. I can tell from miles off that she is different. Unlike you, she takes more than coins and nice words to convince. And I know exactly how to make her step back. Delta leapt up for a crushing blow at Forest Djinn, but her sword was blocked by a deer-headed knight from nowhere. So they must be the deer-headed knight monster. They must be the deer-head monsters. Are they your friends? They are a blessing from the gods. Turn back now, stranger. This is not your place. Ha! Interesting. This bubble universe is much more fun than I expected. Looks like I'll have to get serious a bit. Relax, Djinn. This will be quick. Delta's greatsword clashed once more with the deer-headed knight's shield. Huh. Come on, Djinn, I don't get you. I've given you plenty of opportunities, but you never followed up. Why? I have no reason to harm you. My mission is to protect and prevent. Blah blah blah, it's a duel. The winner lives and the loser dies. Simple as that. If you're not prepared to give it your all, you might pay a very dear price, Djinn. Delta dove down to the next attack, and the deer-headed knight lifted its shield against it again in defense. Enough! Stop right now, you two! A wall of water suddenly rose up between Delta and the Forest Djinn. Idiot, Djinn! What are you doing? If you get mixed up, my blade won't be able to avoid you. No, Miss Delta, don't hurt the water, Djinn, please. Seelie raised her scythe and stood in front of the water djinn. Her hands were as shaky as her voice, but she stood up nevertheless. Delta hesitated for a moment before she sighed and withdrew her steel. Great, you two just have to spoil a good fight. She took a swing casually, and the fig tree fell in response. She sat on the trunk and began to drink cherry juice. So, Jen, can we pass now? Come on, don't be so rigid. You saw what she's capable of, right? Just let them pass. Why? Huh? You knew I'd stop them, but you let them here anyway. Why? No, you got it wrong. I thought you'd had given up the pact and left this place like the others. After all, I'm the only misfit of your breed. Makes perfect sense for me to be left here alone. And when I came here before, I only saw the 2 deer heads, and I got beaten up pretty bad. More lies, water djinn. No wonder you can't get along. Come on, you know what I mean, and that's good enough. So can I take them into the ruins now? No. But why? I don't test adventurers anymore. My mission is now to protect and prevent. Protect the woods and prevent anyone from entering the ruins. No, the pact that bound you has long ended, Forest Djinn. As for what you promised Bronya, well, that's only a dumb promise, right? The Forest Djinn didn't answer. She closed her eyes and looked like she was trying to remember something. Bronya? Miss Forest Djinn, have you seen her? You are... I'm Seelie, Bronya's sister. A sister? No wonder. She could finally explain the familiarity she felt about Seelie. They were too much alike in some way. Clearly, Seelie wasn't as strong or brave as Bronya, but in her eyes the Forest Djinn found tenacity that even Bronya couldn't match. Bronya, she went to the Dark Castle but never returned. I want to find her. Miss Forest Djinn, if you know. I've seen her, Seelie, and I made her a promise before I sent her away. A certain pact made me the guardian of the ruins. My only mission was to guide worthy adventurers to the Dark Castle. And Bronya, she didn't pass the trial in the first place. But she refused to give up. She challenged me again and again. In the end, when she finally passed the test, I realized she had become a friend to me rather than adventurer. And as a friend, I made her a promise. Stop new adventurers from entering the Dark Castle after she left. Stop new adventurers? But what if Bronya fails? Seelie, you know it better than me. Bronya never admits defeat. And after Bronya went to the Dark Castle, the scourge inflicted by the Dark Lord had mostly died down. The Dark Castle only was a black hole sucking in adventurers and putting out all hopes and light. Now, monsters still ravage the land, but the black hole is put to an indefinite halt. That's why the adventurer's path is hardly trodden upon. The world needs no adventurers when the Dark Lord is gone, eh? A peaceful world that doesn't need adventurers anymore. Isn't that what everyone dreams of? Bronya never returned. If the world is saved, where is she right now? Sorry, I don't know. I feel an adventurer isn't all about taking down the Dark Lord. Returning safely is also Bronya's mission. I miss her. Forest Djinn, just let them pass. I'll tag along and make sure they are safe. No thanks, I'm not taking more dead weight. Why are you calling dead weight? I'm a powerful djinn. I can heal and bless. Yeah, I don't fight as well as her, but neither does any other djinn. She's freakishly strong, even for a djinn. No, I meant that as a compliment. Don't get it wrong. The Forest Djinn closed her eyes again and withdrew her lance. Leave now before regret. Huh? Eh? Ha! But remember, there's no turning back once you step into the ruins. You might find the truth you seek, but it might not be the truth you want. Enough with your riddles. Guess we won't be seeing you again. Seely, let's go. Oh, yeah. Goodbye, Miss Waterchin and Forestchin. Thank you. May the spirit of the forest be with you. May the spirit of the spring... Hey, wait a sec, you two are leaving me here? I got you here, remember? The Waterchin took off to catch up. The Forestchin whispered something to her when she passed by. The Waterchin paused for a brief moment before she hurried ahead into the tunnel leading to the ruins. Seely slowly fumbled forth in the darkness, while Delta followed her closely. The Waterchin eyed Delta. Someone tied up your tongue? The Forestchin told me you didn't give it all in the fight, and that she'd be on the ground if you did. Ha! I should point out it was you who held me back. That's because your monster's power reminded me of the demons, or even the Dark Lord. I think she felt it too. Come to think of it, if your story is passed down, you'd probably be called Delta the Demon Adventurer. Demon Adventurer, not bad. Delta, who are you exactly? Come on, why so serious? I'm just kidding. As long as you can slay the Dark Lord, no one cares if you will become the next one. And so ends Emerald Woods. Let's hope not every part takes an hour, or else we'll be here for a bit. Elder Ruins. Late night that day, near the entrance to Elder Ruins. You must build the Elder Ruins in the book. Yeah, that's right. Any adventurer who wishes to enter the Dark Castle must pass the Grand Sage's test here. Shut up, idiot Chen. Huh, I wasn't talking to you. Celia asked me a question, and I was obliged to instruct her. Shut up, don't make me repeat. Delta gave the Waterchin a vicious look and silenced her immediately. Miss Delta, please don't be mean to Miss Waterchin. It was my bad, I shouldn't. Be quiet now as well, Seely. If things go on like this, Delta might indeed die of a headache by the end. The silent ruins became even more eerie now that only the anxious breaths could be heard. Delta observed the surroundings with a clear head, but she couldn't see nothing except endless broken walls. It's too quiet here, unnaturally quiet. See, Seely? What's wrong with her? Does she always act this weird? Shh, don't talk, Miss Waterchin. Miss Delta might... Hey, idiot Chin. What? I wasn't bad-mouthing you, not even a word. Can you feel the existence of water in here? Eh? Are you thirsty, Miss Delta? I have a few bottled spring waters in my backpack. No, Seely, I meant flowing water. Idiot Jin, is there flowing water in these ruins? Delta, didn't anyone tell you to ask nicely when you need a favor? I don't really appreciate your manners, you... The Waterchin stopped all of a sudden. She seemed to have realized something, and her face turned grave. No, I can't feel any running water here. No running water? Is that a serious problem? Running water means life, but everything here is still and dead. But isn't the Grand Sage supposed to be here? The Adventurer's Guide says the Grand Sage has been here for ages, waiting for worthy adventurers to defeat evil. But the book doesn't mention whether the Grand Sage is alive or not, right? You mean... The Grand Sage might be dead. Or there wasn't any Grand Sage to begin with. Huh? If so, how did Bronya and adventurers before her get to the Dark Castle? Yeah, how did they do it, Waterchin? Huh? Why ask me? I've never been to the Dark Castle, how should I know? Delta, I think you're being paranoid. And? Maybe this is a part of the Grand Sage's trial. Maybe she's concealed all signs of life and she's watching how we would respond somewhere. Is it so? It's just a guess. Keep talking. Maybe the Grand Sage is behind some stone tablet. We should press on and look around. No, we are not resting here tonight. We'll resume tomorrow at first light. We are resting here tonight. We'll resume tomorrow at first light. Huh? Unknown dangers might be lurking in the darkness. Besides... Delta walked up to Seely and patted her on the shoulder. Wake up, Seely. Huh? Miss Delta? Sorry, I shouldn't have... Seely, over here. Oh, okay. Seely followed Delta to a broken wall a few steps away. It's a few hours before dawn. Seely, drop your backpack and sleep here. You didn't get any shut-eye for 2 straight days. Rest well and we'll continue at dawn. Eh? There's a small patch of grass here. Beats the hard ground beats the hard ground of rocks. You seem aloof, but you actually care about me. Whatever. Well, I should probably have a rest too. The ground over there looks flat. I'm gonna go sleep there. Let me see if I can make a waterbed with my aqua power. Don't go too far. Waterchin sauntered away, yawning. Seely lay on a small patch of grass and used her cloak as a blanket. She then scooched over to make some room. Miss Delta, would you like to lie down here? This grass patch should be enough for the both of us. Nah, I'll go over there. Delta pointed at a pile of broken steelies nearby. What? Those are rocks. You won't be able to have a good sleep on them. It's the best spot for night watch. I have a wide view there, and I can help the both of you in case of an emergency. Night watch? Aren't you going to sleep? You don't look tired at all, though. I'm used to staying up late. Plus, when spending the night in the wild, you have to have someone keep watch. It's basic knowledge for adventurers. Oh, right. Now I remember I read it in Adventurer's Guide. Well then, can I watch the night tomorrow? Nah, it's that idiot Chin's turn tomorrow. Snoring sound. Waterchin's loud snore came with a cool night breeze. Can't believe she already fell asleep. Meh. Delta grabbed her weapon and walked towards the pile of steelies. Thank you, Miss Delta. For what? I think this is the adventures of the brave, as I have always imagined. Strong determination, reliable companions, and excitement about the unknown future. Don't thank me. It's you who made the move. I did nothing. If you have to thank someone, thank your own courage then. No response was heard. Delta turned around, only to find that Seely had already fallen asleep. Delta let out a sigh. She then walked to the pile of steelies, sat down and quietly looked up to the clear, starry sky. She couldn't feel her fatigue. She could feel her fatigue. She was just trying to elude sleep, or more precisely, its derivative, dreams. Delta hadn't had any dreams for a long time. Dreaming is a sign of deep slumber, while Delta could wake up at any second. Close her eyes, clear her mind, and open her eyes 5 minutes later. This had been her way of sleeping. However, this time, she suddenly heard something the moment she closed her eyes. It was piercing, howling wind. Delta immediately opened her eyes, only to find herself lying in thick snow. She tried to stand up, but the snow trapped her like quicksand. The harder she tried, the deeper she sank. Her body temperature kept dropping, and she gradually lost consciousness. In a daze, she heard someone calling her name, codename Delta, but her real name, the one that she had lost a long time ago. She recalled that night of raging snowstorms, where this endless nightmare began. Actually, she wished it was just a long nightmare, because no matter how terrible nightmares appeared, they would always dissipate when she woke up in the morning, and her loved one would be by her side and gently wipe her tears. But how could she ever wake up in reality? Delta pinched herself as hard as she could. The glaring sunlight hurt Delta's eyes. Oh, hi there, thumbnail. To her surprise, she had a headache. Already, not just at the end of the story. She rubbed her forehead in bewilderment. What happened? I fell asleep. But why? Seely? Idiot Chen? No one answered. There was nobody in view. Only Seely's little backpack was lying on the grass patch. I shouldn't have let my guard down. You have something to do with that weird dream I just had, don't you? Delta looked up at a small figure perching on top of the stone wall in front of her. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I'm not in a good mood right now. You better not beat around the bush and waste my time. Waste your time? There must be some misunderstanding, adventurer. You're talking to the legendary Grand Sage, the master of the ruins and the arranger of your trials. You're talking to the grand legendary Grand Sage, the master of the ruins, and the arranger of your trial. The Grand Sage? You? Huh, I assumed you'd be much bigger than this. Seeming a bit annoyed at Delta's taunt, the sage flew to a taller stele and stood on top of it, looking down at Delta. The Grand Sage does not refer to the size of stature. Rather, it's about the massiveness of my wisdom, insight, grace, and... Cut the crap, just tell me how to get to the Dark Castle. Yes. Very Paimon-esque. I forgot her real name. What's the weapon that has been turned into it? Jingwei's wings. Right, Jingwei. Though Delta hadn't made any move, her tail already raised her greatsword and pointed it at the small figure. Alas, young adventurer always lack patience. The Grand Sage didn't seem to be daunted by Delta's threat. She let out a sigh and nudged the tip of the sword aside. Yes, chicken wings. Before you start to explore the ruins, don't you want to know where your missing companions are? At the moment, they might be suffering or facing terrifying enemies somewhere in the ruins. So what? Huh? What did you say? What does their suffering have to do with me? Are you saying that you won't tell me how to get to the Dark Castle unless I save them? Of course not. I'm just shocked to see an adventurer abandon her companions without hesitation. I'm not an adventurer, and they are not my companions. Alright. Well then, adventurer, it's time to follow my guidance and finish your trials in the ruins. The Grand Sage took out a roll of parchment from her sleeve and cleared her throat. Master Adventurer, welcome to this time-honored Andor ruins. You and your pals will first experience the amazing magic of displacement. If you are separated from one another under the magic, please do not panic, as it will be the ruins' test of you. Your friendship and lofty ambitions will bind your hearts together and lead you through the trials to the secret. Delta abruptly slashed the stele on which the Grand Sage was standing in half. Get to the point, I don't have time for beginner tutorials. Be patient, adventurer. Listening to the Grand Sage's instructions is part of your trials. Can't I skip this part and hear my quest already? Skip. No, you cannot. That's how the system works. Fine, whatever. How about we try something simpler and more efficient? I ask questions and you answer them with a simple yes or no. You think you can do this? The Grand Sage glanced at the slit stele and the pink greatsword in front of her, and nodded with a shiver. Question number 1. Celia and that idiot Chin are both alive and haven't left the ruins, yes or no? If you're referring to the other two adventurers, then yes. Question number 2. There are other Grand Sages in the ruins, yes or no? What? How did you know? I just took a guess. According to your all adventurers will be tested separately at different locations in the ruins. Which means, as I've met you, Celia and Idiot Chin would meet their own Grand Sages who give them instructions. Of course, it's also possible that you test us at different times, but your reaction just now validated my first guess. Well then, question number 3. What shall I do to leave this place and get to the floating isles and the Dark Castle? Miss Adventurer, could you please show some respect for the ruins and me? Who would ask for walkthroughs about the final boss stage at the newbie tutorial? Players who are only interested in the results, like me. Fine, if you're in such a hurry, here's the most difficult puzzle in the ruins. I'm listening. Imagine that this complicated array of puzzles of the ruins is something like a board game being played by the gods, and the adventurers are observers of the game. Even if they knew every rule, however, they might not be able to understand why a particular card is played in the game. But when they know the rules, they consider that they can solve all the puzzles of the ruins. This is one of the oldest puzzles of the ruins. No adventurer ever solved it. You don't understand a word of it, do you? Haha! You were like... I know this reference. It's from the Feynman lectures on physics. What? The original text should be, we can imagine that this complicated array of moving things which constitutes the world is something like a great chess game being played by the gods, and we are observers of the game. Even if we knew every rule, however, we might not be able to understand why a particular move is made in the game. If we know the rules, we consider that we understand the world. That's all I could remember. That book was so boring I only read a few pages before I gave it away. Who would have thought your puzzle comes exactly from the few pages I read? Alright, so what's the question of... This isn't right. Why would you know the content of the scriptures left by the Grand Sage? Left by the Grand Sage? I mean, no, I didn't say anything. You heard nothing. Alas, Jingwei, you are such an embarrassment. You've wasted so much time and still failed to take her out, and you almost revealed our secret. Shame on you. What? Jingwei, I am the Grand Sage of the Ruins. Save it. You've only been disgracing the Grand Sage, you little coward. Delta turned around and saw an indigo figure about the same size as the Grand Sage. She was standing on a higher stele, looking down at the two. So you're the Grand Sage, huh? Aha! Hehehe! That's right! I am the true master of the ruins, the herald of the freezing netherworld, and the dark angel of eternal sleep, the Grand Sage X. Just as small as the other one. Are you trying to be funny? Grand Sage X looked Though Grand Sage X looked very embarrassed, she still managed to maintain her pose for her debut. Oh, that's her persona. You know, some adventurers like this type. Why are you here, Grand Sage X? Wouldn't stop but to us adventurers who couldn't even pass the first trial. You're saying they both failed? Correct! Now it's your turn, Before Grand Sage X could finish talking, the Grand Sage hurriedly flew over and muffled her. She was just saying, darling adventurer, it's time to start your trials. Right, Grand Sage X? Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say. What are you doing? You almost spilled the beans. You don't know what we are dealing with. See those fixed nose steelers? She just cuts them like butter. I was just worried about you, and I don't want to play the game with them anymore. I never win. Alright. I'll think of some excuse to trick her. You play along and follow my lead. You know there's no team channel for you two, and I can hear you right. Anyway, time is running out. Get ready for your trials, adventurer. Okay, I'd like to see how you're gonna trick me. Please follow me to this ancient triangular stele array, adventurer. Please stand on the circular floor surrounded by the free stele to activate the device. That's it. I call this a trial. This is just the beginning. The trials are designed to be an evolutionary process of increasing difficulty. Don't waste too much time on the beginning, just stand there so that we can give you further instructions. Delta cast a suspicious glance at them and then casually walked to the spot as they instructed. The next moment, the three steles began to emit green light, forming a cage with a click, which trapped Delta inside. So this is the real trial for adventurers. Save it, you crafty Dark Lord! Dark Lord? Who would have thought the Dark Lord has secretly evolved this far? You even have a human form now, and you use it to trick those adventurers. Thank goodness we saw right through your ruse before it's too late, and transferred the two adventurers to a safe place. What is your evil plan? To murder the adventurers? To steal the secrets of the ruins, or... Delta suddenly thrust her greatsword into the ground. You call yourself grand sages? More like grand morons. I couldn't be less interested in the adventures or the stupid secrets of your stupid ruins. I told you I just want to know the way to the Dark Castle. Delta then stamped her foot on the ground a few times. That click came from underground, right? It doesn't sound solid when I hit the ground with my sword or foot. There's space down there, am I right? Shoot! These steles and broken walls are all just camouflage. The real ruins are underground. Don't bother to think of an answer, grand sages. The looks on your faces already gave the answer to me. As for how to get down there, I won't need your help on that either. Delta tightly grasped the hilt. Countless cracks began to sprawl in the ground from the landing point of the blade. Wake up, sleeping beauty. Shatter this place for me. Meanwhile, somewhere under the ruins. Choose race, elf or half-elf. Choose class, major warrior. Are you sure you want to be a half-elf warrior, Miss Valorai? Yes, this one looks strong. Can I be her? Of course, race and class confirmed. Initiating character attributes, abilities, features, and equipment. In a badly lit chamber, 4 figures were sitting around a stone table. I've made my choice. Here you are, Miss Alice. The girl called Alice adeptly took her cards. I took the cards handed by Seely. Alice will host. The story of the adventurers and the Dark Dragon begins. A dark dragon is evil. It destroyed and looted the world. Adventurers, you have trekked so far and finally reached the Dark Dragon's lair. You decided to take a rest tonight to refresh and fight the Dark Dragon tomorrow. That's it. We're about to fight the final boss already. The next day, you wake up in a strange room. What do you do, adventurers? Same thing I did when I woke up here this morning. Scream. I think I'll pass out. What about you, Grand Sage Y? I light a torch. The room is lit by Grand Sage Y's torch. You see many treasure chests. Please wait. Alice needs to roll the dice to decide your results. Seely passed out, but was woken up again by Water Chin's scream. What do you do next, Miss Chin? A room full of treasure chests. Can I go check those chests? I opened the biggest one. It sure has become D&D suddenly. Waterchin opened the treasure chest and is blinded by glittering treasure. Waterchin loses her sight for 1 round. Wait a sec, Alice. This game doesn't feel right. The timing of dice rolling is already weird. And why would someone be blinded when opening a treasure chest? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Alice tilted her head to look at the Waterchin, with a hint of confusion in her emotionless voice. That was very emotional, what she just did. Database shows the same thing had happened to adventurers before. The game will simulate all possible threats. Alice's game is designed to test and toughen adventurers. Try your best to avoid danger and prove yourself. But all we have experienced so far are bad things. Falling into a trap, losing baggage, food poisoning, getting hurt. Alice has fun, happy stories. You're out of luck and missed them all. Frogs rained down at the prince's wedding in a distant kingdom. A lost traveler strayed into the territory of a race of tiny people. The country in the far north has no nights or seasons. All of these stories are too bizarre to make sense to me. And I'm a djinn. And you just play along like this, Grand Sage. The girl who was referred to as Grand Sage seemed reticent. She fixed her eyes on her cards without looking up. Great, another cold fish. She talks less than the one with 2 horns on her head. Who'd have thought the legendary Grand Sage just hides under the ruins and plays games with a little girl all day? It's called Board RPG for Adventurers. The Grand Sage created it to help adventurers improve their capabilities. With all due respect, I don't think anyone who could pass Forest Jin's trial would need this. Especially that monster Delta. Miss Delta would be mad at you if she knew you said that. I know, that's why I said it behind her back. Anyway, where is she? Why hasn't she joined us? Grand Sage told me she's still up there being tested. But why does she need extra tests? She's way stronger than us. Grand Sage Y said, Alice, they don't need to know. Continue the game. But the adventurers asked the question. Alice is supposed to answer their questions. Have better judgment, Alice. Someone questions will only bring problems if answered. Problems are arriving. There was a loud thump as something crashed into the iron door of the chamber. Who's there? Troubles. It's me. Grand Sage? Why do you the door so hard? Just get in. No response, but some muffled muttering came from the other side of the door. What's wrong, Jingwei? Don't panic, I'm coming. No, don't open the door. Bring Alice and the adventurers, and just run. The Dark Lord. With another thud, a large bulge stuck out from the thick iron door. Then came a deluge of thumps, which finally ceased when the door broke away from the frame and smashed into the wall on the other side of the chamber. As everyone's jaw dropped, Delta lowered her leg at the door. Knee strikes, hook kicks, side kicks, tail sweeps. I haven't practiced my fighting moves for ages, kinda rusty. Delta's tail flicked and tossed 2 Grand Sages, who had been bound by her tail among the 4 girls in the chamber. Owie, my head, it's spinning. So many Alice. Is this what infernal regions look like? There's only chaos in sight. Hey, are you two alright? Wake up! Miss Delta. Oh, you're here, Seely and Idiot Chin. I see you two have been taken good care of. I think so. We were just playing a board game with Miss Alice. Seely, I think she means kidnapping. What? Kidnapping? No. Miss Jen and I are fine. Miss Alice and the Grand Sage have been very nice to us. Grand Sage just told us that you were still being tested. There must be some misunderstanding. Being tested? For what? To see if I'm a qualified Dark Lord? Huh? I see you have given up lying, Dark Lord. Dark Lord, adventurer, human, whatever you wanna call me, I'm not here for you. It's you whom I'm looking for. Delta raised her greatsword and pointed at Alice, who had remained silent. I played a few games with those 2 little critters for a while, and they told me everything. 2 of them and the one with striped stockings. None of them is the real Grand Sage. They are just support elves. Huh? Then where's the real Grand Sage? Could it be... The real Grand Sage is you, am I right, little girl? Some questions will only bring problems if answered. Alice must have better judgment. Grand Sage Y told Alice this. Alice refuses to answer your question. Suddenly, Alice's body emitted glaring white light, when everyone else could open their eyes again. This place is the ruins. We are back on the ground again. This is the magic of displacement that the Grand Sage left to Alice. And Alice used the magic of ruins barrier as well. Grand Sage X was pointing at a vacant lot not very far away from them. Alice and Delta were standing in the middle of the lot, while the others were kept out by a light wall. Seriously, I'm not interested in beating a kid up. But if that's the only way to get the answer from you, then you left me no choice. Are you done? You'd get hurt. Quit messing around, silly. Alice is not messing around. Alice has been collecting data, observing and analyzing you. Huh? Data collection complete. Alice can answer your question now. Alice is not the real Grand Sage. The real Grand Sage has gone for ages. The Grand Sage made Alice and the support elves to continue the research and protect the ruins. So that's the reason why you had to fight me. Delta looked back and glanced at the 3 Grand Sages. Wrong. Alice fought you in order to collect data and identify you. Result of analysis, Delta is similar, but not identical to the Dark Lord. Delta does not belong to this world, just like the Dark Lord. Well, Delta is not the Dark Lord. Miss Delta doesn't belong to this world? Yeah, why are you so surprised? I didn't tell you? No. How could you not tell us something this important? But even if she told us, we wouldn't believe her. Alice apologizes. Elves misjudged Delta. Elves should apologize too. Sorry, we shouldn't have been so hot-headed. The 3 elves stood in a row behind Delta, their heads lolling. When the 3 of you entered the ruins, you were all tested by the magic of discernment left by the Grand Sage. And the results showed that the composition of Delta is highly similar to the Dark Lord. Alice suggests transferring the other 2 adventurers to the inside of the ruins to protect them while observing you. But the 3 of us couldn't afford the possibility of the Dark Lord destroying Alice and the ruins. So we discussed and decided to take you out with the ruins defense system, a device, or weaken you a little at least. Yeah. You mean that stupid trap with the green lights? Gee, how weak do you think I am? Our trap is fine. It's just that you are so unreasonably strong. Huh? I didn't say anything. The elves had no ill intent, they just wanted to protect the ruins. To be more precise, they wanted to protect something in the ruins, am I right? And so did you. You teleported us underground, because you didn't want something underground to be smashed during our fight. It's Alice that they tried to protect. Huh? Let me explain this to you, adventurers. Long ago, when the Grand Sage was still here, this place hadn't been reduced to rubble. It used to be the Grand Sage's laboratory, and the 3 of us were her assistants, created by her. When the Dark Lord descended, it brought infinite monsters and destruction, as well as countless magic devices and books from another world. Another world, another bubble universe maybe. I knew it. The Grand Sage had been studying those devices and books in the hope of finding out ways to defeat the Dark Lord. I see, including the Feynman lectures on physics, right? You know, the book where the puzzle I was given came from. I've never heard of it before, but the Grand Sage did compile all useful information in the books into her scriptures. Those adventurers in the past bought us a lot of time, but we failed to find a way to defeat the Dark Lord anyway. There were a few methods that might work, but the odds were heavily against us. They were very dangerous. Those methods were sealed by the Grand Sage in the ruins and touched by one, and no one ever since. At the end of life, the Grand Sage utilized all her knowledge to build an unparalleled, massive magic barrier. The barrier isolated the part of the world where the Dark Lord had already destroyed, meaning the floating isles, from the rest of the world where humanity could be safe from monsters. Huh, So humanity's been living in a sheltered garden ever since, and the tales about the Dark Lord are gradually forgotten. But Alice is the core of the barrier. The Grand Sage made a pact with the Djinns. The Djinns select qualified adventurers and send them to the ruins to be trained to fight the Dark Lord. Alice blocks monsters from the floating isles. The Djinn will help too when things get out of hand. This is how the pact works, as always. So this place is actually a training base for adventurers. Correct. Alice and the elves designed games and made devices to train adventurers. The floating isles are the closest to the Dark Castle and thus the most dangerous. Alice would only send adventurers there after the training. Did my big sister disappear in the floating isles? Her name is Bronya. She's about the same height as me and normally wears her silver hair in ponytails like this. Celie took out her pen and notepad, trying to draw a sketch of Bronya to show to Alice. Alice has met Bronya. She is good at playing games. Alice likes her. But Alice cannot answer your question. Huh? Under normal circumstances, the ruins barrier only allows one-way passage, from the ruins to the floating isles. The barrier would collapse only after the energy of the Dark Lord dissipates. Which means Bonnie might still be on the floating isles. Oh, and other adventurers too. Wait, this isn't right. There are fewer monsters now, so if the Dark Lord's already been defeated by Bronya, why is the barrier still on? Sorry, Alice does not know the answer. But let it go, Celie, you won't get the answer here no matter what. And even if you do, you won't believe it anyway. Just push on and find the truth for yourself. It's the meaning of your the meaning of your whole adventure. Hey, you're mean, Delta. Shut up! You're unbelievable. Alice, give this brat more tests. The hardest tests you have. Make her suffer so she'll learn to be nicer to people. Alice refuses. The trial is over. Alice considers your team strong enough to pass the trial and go to the floating isles. Delta's power is unprecedented, according to Alice's database. Stronger than Bronya? Correct. Well, that's because you've only seen very few people, and are therefore easy to impress. And Celie's strong determination to find her sister gives her great strength to fight her enemy. Yes, I must find Bronya and take her home. What about me? I'm as strong as them, right? Origin resembles the Grand Sage. They both have beautiful silver hair and lovely blue eyes. Everyone was shocked at Alice's response. The Grand Sage was petite, and the same height as Alice. She always wore a trencher cap and a pair of round spectacles. This would make me look less cute and much wiser, she once said so. Well, that does sound very strongly like Teresa. But her favorite clothes was actually a cute blue and white dress. She looked like the Alice in Wonderland in that dress. And Waterchin's dress has the same colors. I don't know what to say. Thanks, perhaps? So that's why you were named Alice by the Grand Sage? Wrong. Alice picked her own name. Alice was once called Omega, a codename given by the Grand Sage, which means last piece of work. But Alice did not like it. Alice wanted a real name rather than a codename, to remember the Grand Sage. So Alice is curious. Delta is not a real name, but a codename. Humanity does not like codename, but you only have a codename. Why do you have no real name? Everyone turned to look at Delta. She remained silent for a while. I once had a name, but not anymore. Like you said, names are for remembering some people or something. I have nothing worth remembering. A code name for others to refer to me is enough. And I don't care if it's Delta or what. Alice does not understand. You'll understand when you grow up. Alice has lived far longer than you. Let it go, Alice. That goldfish won't tell you if she doesn't want to. It's not like it's some important info anyway. She'll probably throw a huge tantrum and smash your ruins if you push her too hard. Huh? You're not as stupid as you look. Alright. Alice still does not understand. But Alice will inquire no more. The passage to the floating isles will open in 300 seconds. Please get ready, adventurers. Miss Alice, would you like to go with us? You deserve your own adventure rather than just recording others. Sorry, Alice cannot leave. Huh? The Alice in front of you is not the real Alice. Alice's physical form is a massive, immovable device at the bottom of the ruins. And my human form only exists on this side of the barrier. But how could this be? It's the order given by the Grand Sage. Alice must comply. Alice must stay. But Alice feels happy to have met you all, adventurers. But if the Dark Lord no longer exists, the barrier will also disappear, and you will be able to leave here then, right? Correct. No Dark Lord, no need to maintain the barrier. In that situation, Alice can leave. Then, Miss Alice, can we invite you to go on new adventures after we defeat the Dark Lord? But if there's no Dark Lord, there won't be any adventures to take. Well, we can still go on a trip together then. Alice has recorded Seely's invite. Alice will wait for Seely to come back and go on trips together. Seely held Alice's hands and wouldn't let go. Alright, Seely, time to go. The passage has already opened. And take your tears back. They are not needed here. Hey! You too, idiot Chin. Hurry up. Delta grabbed Water Chin and forcibly dragged her towards the passage. Access granted. Please go on, adventurers. Seely finally let go of Alice's hands and slowly walked to the entrance to the passage. She looked back at Alice, unwilling to take another step. Hey Delta, should we go help her get through this? Nope, that's her problem. She gotta deal with it alone. You have a heart of stone. Are you a Chin too? The stone Chin? Not funny. And what do you expect me to say? Oh, us Chins do have some juicy stories to tell. Alright, tell me the story about the pact then. Which Chin made the pact with the Grand Sage? There was an awkward silence. Whatever, I'm not that interested anyways. Suddenly, they heard quick footsteps approaching. Delta looked back and saw Seely, her head lolling. Done saying goodbye to them? Yeah. Then let's go. The three girls marched towards the floating islands in total silence. Soon, they reached the end of the passage in dazzling sunlight. The next moment... Greetings, adventurers from faraway lands. Welcome to the floating isles. Well, that wasn't quite an hour. About 30 minutes later, after the three adventurers arrived at the Flowing Isles. Master Waterchin, you have to try this. Well, look at who's this? Huh? This is fresh, airy fruit juice, one of our special local products. Though it's not as sweet as the rocky fruit juice you just had, it's as refreshing as your spring water. But I'm already so full. I can guarantee you'll like it. Rita bent down and poured Waterchin a full glass of greenish juice. After some hesitation, Waterchin raised her glass and drank the juice up. Whoa, this juice is so good! Can I get a refill, Rita? Of course, Master Waterchin. Aha, did you hear that, Delta? She called me Master Waterchin. Miss Waterchin is beaming. Seely, Delta, you gotta try this. It tastes so unbelievably good. As good as my spring water. Waterchin waved her glass at Seely and Delta, who had been seated at another table. We are flattered that you like our juice, Master Waterchin. Miss Delta, Miss Follerai, here's your juice. Seely hesitated for a few seconds and took a glass of juice. However, Delta made no move, her arms still crossed. Rita smiled and gently put down the other glass in front of her. Come on, girl! An inebriated, red-haired woman sat down between Seely and Delta, her arms around their shoulders. This is your welcome party! Make yourself at home! Himiko patted Seely's shoulder heavily and held Delta tighter with the other arm. Leave me alone, you smell terrible. What? You don't like this wet smell of alcohol? This is the smell of adulthood. Wanna try it? No. You seem like a cute little girl, but why are you so cold to us? We're not bad people. Yeah, you're trying to look cool, I know. Seeing Himiko had no intentions to withdraw her arm from her shoulder, Delta coldly moved her hand away, raised the glass, and took a sip. It does taste good. Delicious, huh? I can tell from your face that you love it. And this airy fruit wine is even better. Do you wanna... Himiko-senpai. Miss Delta clearly prefers to have some alone time. So how about we give her more personal space? Rita came back as they talked and refilled Himiko's drink. You barely touched your food, Miss Follerai. Our local specialties don't agree with you. Sorry, we don't have abundant foodstuffs here. Our farmlands have been polluted to the Dark Lord's assault. No. The food you've prepared looks great, Miss Rosewise. It's just that... This place looks so different than what I imagined. I think I need some time to process. I see. What did you think the floating isles should look like, Miss Follerai? I thought it must be a chaotic place where adventurers would encounter swarms of scary monsters. It used to be like that, but after efforts made by all the adventurers, we managed to build this adventurous base. This is amazing. Who would have thought there was a safe, sophisticated adventurers base on the floating isles? Are all the adventurers here? Fuhua-senpai is patrolling on other isles. The rest of them are all here. Seely disappointedly bowed her head. She didn't see the petite figure that she had been looking for. I have to say, Miss Follerai, you and your companions surprised us even more. Huh? If we haven't seen you with our own eyes, you wouldn't believe Master Waterchin came here with new adventurers. Each of the adventurers here has been guided by Master Waterchin. He would never make it here without her help. Here's to Master Waterchin. Huh? Oh, cheers! Here's to Master Waterchin! Dozens of adventurers raised their glasses to Waterchin while chanting her name. So loud. Delta rubbed her forehead, stood up impatiently, and started to walk towards the exit. Where are you going, Miss Delta? To the Dark Castle. This party is taking forever. I don't have time for this, neither does the Dark Lord. But it seems Miss Waterchin wants to have more food. She can stay here. I She is nothing but a burden to me. I prefer to go without her. Your duty as the guide is already complete. I only need to pass through the floating isles to reach a dark castle. I don't need any help to get rid of the monsters on the way. Wait, Miss Delta, I don't want to stay here either. Can I go with you? But I have a few questions to ask the adventurers here. Can you wait for me for a while? Make it quick. I will. Thank you, Miss Delta. Seely forced her way through the cheering adventurers and came to Rita. Miss Roswise? Oh, Miss Follow-Eye, where were you? And Miss Delta, we've been looking for you. Miss Roswise, have you met an adventurer named Bronya? Seely's voice was small compared to the adventurers' cheers, but when Seely mentioned the name Bronya, they all quieted down immediately. Huh? What happened? Did I say something wrong? Am I sorry? I'm so sorry. Bronya? Why did you want to find Bronya, Miss Follow-Eye? Because she's my big sister. She went missing a long time ago. I came all the way here to find her. Being stared at by the adventurers, Seely helplessly stood there, with her head bowed, wringing her hands. She could hear the adventurers murmuring, but she could not hear the exact content of the murmurs. She was afraid, her voice even started to tremble, but she finally managed to gather some courage to look up at Rita. Miss Roswise, if you know Bronya's whereabouts, please tell me. However, Rita did not respond. Instead, she turned around to face the adventurers and clapped her hands. Adventurers, the party is over. Please return to your posts and start your work and daily training. The adventurers dispersed. Rita started to clean up. Party's over already, but it just started. Miss Roswise, did I do something wrong? Why does everyone seem to hate me and my sister? You did nothing wrong, Miss Follow-Eye. But why did they? Because Bronya is a name that no one here wants to speak of. I don't know how to explain this to you. Explain? What did my sister do? Please tell me, Miss Roswise. It's fine, Rita. I can explain it to them. Fuhua-senpai, you're back early. I heard that Waterchin and the adventurers came, so I returned to greet them. That's a nice outfit. These are the new adventurers? Yes, Fuhua-senpai. This is Miss Follow-Eye. That young lady over there is Miss Delta. Adventurers, this is Fuhua-senpai. She is the founder of this base. Greetings, adventurers from faraway lands. My apologies for not being able to welcome you earlier. I was patrolling elsewhere. Fuhua bowed to make her apologies, which rattled Seely. Please don't say that, Fuhua-senpai. We should be apologizing for troubling you and Miss Roswise. I overheard part of your conversation just now, and have got a rough idea of what's going on. Do you know where my sister is, Fuhua-senpai? Yes. Come with me, Seely, Delta, and Waterchin. I'll show you where Bronya is. A few minutes later, an open space outside the base. We'll go southwest to an isle and climb up a mountain there, which is the highest spot in the neighborhood. When we get there, we will be able to see Bronya. Mountain? Is my sister having her training there? You'll understand when we get there. But before we set off, I must first deal with a lurking danger among you. Lurking danger? Oh, I see. Fuhua-senpai, I assure you Miss Delta is not. Whatever, I'm used to this. Fight me if you want. I'm tired of explaining anyway. But I'm curious, what's your criteria for identifying the Dark Lord? Combat power or my horns and tail? No. Though you have an aura similar to the Dark Lord, I know you're not it. She is the lurking danger, not you. Miss Waterchin? Why have you been pretending to be Waterchin? Why did you join the adventurers and come here? Pretending? Miss Waterchin? How come? Answer me. Who are you, imposter? Danger to the food and drinks. Yes, that's what she is. I am Waterchin, the djinn who lives in the spring of Emerald Woods and guides adventurers. We did meet Miss Waterchin there and have been guided by her, just as the Adventurer's Guide says. Right, the Adventurer's Guide. You can trust that guidebook because you wrote it in the first place, right, idiot djinn? Why are you taking her side? We've been traveling partners for long. Can't you just help me out here? I don't believe anything you say ever since I realized you were the writer of that guidebook Seely has. Adventurers will find the entrance to the ruins sooner or later. That guidebook just lures adventurers to your spring, where you give them the extra guide that they don't really need. Which means there is no Waterchin who guides adventurers in the first place. How could this be? So Miss Waterchin has been lying to us? No, I didn't lie to anyone. I am Waterchin. No, you're not. You don't know me. I know the real Waterchin. She was a friend of mine. She left this world before my eyes. Oops. So she no longer lives in this world after all. The sky was still clear, but everyone suddenly had a feeling that a storm just fell. The rain started to pour and the wind was howling. The fake Waterchin, who was at the center of the storm, gazed at Fuhua in an exceptionally calm manner. Old friend of Waterchin, please tell me, what had happened at that time? Waterchin, Forest Djinn, the Grand Sage and me were the first to come to the Floating Isles. We had challenged the Dark Lord countless times, but failed to defeat it due to its eerie powers from another world. So we decided to let the Grand Sage leave this dangerous place and continue her research on ways of defeating the Dark Lord in a safer area. And the rest of us stayed here to hold the Dark Lord off and buy some time for her. In the end, the Grand Sage failed to find a way to defeat the Dark Lord, but she managed to create a barrier. At the same time, the Dark Lord launched the final assault. The sky was full of dark rifts, from which the deluges of monsters came. Ugh, these disgusting monsters are endless. Calm down, Waterchin. We must hold out until the Grand Sage's barrier activates. Now she has the correct face. Of course I know that, human. Watch out, more monsters coming. Annoying roaches. Blue spring water congealed into countless spears in midair and rained down on innumerable rampaging monsters. Should stop using that spell, Waterchin. Your body can't take it anymore. Huh, don't underestimate me. Watch out! The Dark Lord ripped space and soundlessly emerged from a dark rift near the three girls. Did not immediately launch an assault, but the lightless rift started to consume everything nearby like a black hole. And Waterchin, who was already feeble and strained, was the closest to the rift. Grab my hand, Waterchin! Forest Djinn and Fuhua clutched Waterchin's hands at the same time, trying to pull her away from the rift. However, the Dark Lord suddenly launched a violent attack. It smashed the floating isles under their feet in a flash. Forest Djinn fell down with the shuddering isle. Forest Djinn! Darn it! Hold on to me, Waterchin! Let go, human. Do you want to be consumed too? Furor gripped onto the water djinn's hand, which in turn caused her to be sucked deeper into the rift. Foolish human. But spring water formed a giant water sphere beside water djinn. What are you doing? Just leave, human. Go defeat the Dark Lord and return to Emerald Woods. And tell her I am sorry. Water djinn pushed me away with that water sphere she'd summoned and was consumed by the rift. No one knows what's behind the rift. No one knows where she is. The Grand Sage managed to activate the barrier thereafter, which closed the Dark Lord and the monsters off on floating isles. And I stayed here to fight the monsters and guide adventurers while looking for water djinn. So, Puha's Empire is the first adventurer, and the real water djinn is your adventurer companion. Then who is Miss Water Djinn who has been traveling with us? I'm also a djinn of spring water, just like her. I'm her little sister. What? I see. When the Dark Lord first descended, humanity and the djinns formed an alliance. They sent their best warriors to fight the Dark Lord together. My sister and Forest Djinn were both our strongest warriors, while I was the least powerful among us djinns. I didn't master many spells, and I was not very strong, so I wasn't chosen for the battle. I had been waiting for my sister and Forest Djinn to come back and tell me their adventure stories ever since they left, but only Forest Djinn came back to Emerald Woods at last. I had asked Forest Djinn my sister's whereabouts many times, but she never gave me any answer. I tried to go find my sister, but Forest Djinn had been guarding the entrance to the ruins and wouldn't let me pass. So you got your eyes on the adventurers. Yeah, I made up some stories based on the djinn's folklore I heard and wrote that adventurer's guide and snuck it to human towns. Everyone's looking for their sister. I'm betting she's also looking for her sister. I disguised myself as my sister and provided guidance for all adventurers that came to Emerald Woods. I had been waiting for any adventurers who had been guided by me to bring back intel about my sister. But there were fewer and fewer new adventurers. Not a single one had returned. She might be partly her sister, yes. And then I met you, Delta. You're the strongest adventurer I've ever met. Way stronger than Forest Spirit. Maybe even comparable to the Dark Lord. So I thought if I joined your team, Forest Djinn wouldn't be able to stop me. Join my team? Don't flatter yourself. You just tagged along. Yeah. Why would I do that? I think I kinda already knew what happened to my sister when Forest Djinn refused to answer my questions. And why did I still come here? Why did I have to ruin my last hope? Miss Water Djinn? Because sometimes it's easier to just be hopeless. A glimmer of hope is even more depressing than sheer desperation. It will slowly torture you until it kills you. Miss Delta, please don't say that. She's right. Hope can be more painful than desperation. Let's just go. They walked in total silence. Soon they arrived at the floating isle Fuha mentioned and reached the mountaintop. The dark castle is over there. Everyone looked in the direction as Fuha pointed. It was a devastated, sunless floating isle, with shattered earth, on which monsters were rampaging. That's where your sister is, Seely. Huh? Is she still fighting the Dark Lord? I gotta help her out. No. The old Dark Lord has already been defeated. Then, your sister Bronya has become the new Dark Lord. Well, that's bad. Bronya is the new Dark Lord? Celie froze with a shock. Her scythe dropped on the ground. No, it can't be. Fuhrer-senpai, there must be some misunderstanding. Bronya, my sister, can't be... I wouldn't believe it either if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. Bronya was not the strongest adventurer, but the most relentless. Since her first day here, she'd come to me for instruction in training every day. She was determined to grow strong enough to defeat the Dark Lord. She wasn't talented, or had magic powers like other adventurers. I once asked her why she wanted to be an adventurer. She told me that her little sister was once attacked by monsters and almost died. I was indeed seriously wounded when I was a child, and it left a permanent scar on my back. But I've always thought it was from a beast attack. I don't remember it at all. That's probably why she was so determined to defeat the Dark Lord. She wanted to protect you and shield you from danger and any terrifying facts about monsters. Later, she formed a commando of adventurers and carried out a raid on the Dark Castle. It was a tough battle, but they managed to defeat the Dark Lord at last. However, before they could celebrate the hard-won victory, Bronya, who was next to the Dark Lord's corpse, suddenly noticed something unusual. The Dark Lord's body suddenly began to emit cold light, and the blast it generated immediately swept all the adventurers out of the Dark Castle, except Bronya. And the gate of the Dark Castle closed ever since. Someone has to become Dark Lord, elected every 4 years. How could this be, Bronya? For a period of time thereafter, there were indeed fewer monsters, but the barrier was still up. So we guessed that Bronya didn't really kill the Dark Lord. Yes, and then the number of monsters started to increase again. I was worried that something unusual might be going on in the Dark Castle, so I sent several adventurers to inspect. They found out that the gate of the Dark Castle was somehow open again, and there was a new Dark Lord inside. The new Dark Lord looked just like Bronya. This can't be true. They must have made a mistake. I couldn't believe it either, so I went to the Dark Lord Castle myself. And I was attacked by Bronya. She looked a bit different, but I was sure it was her, and the power she was using was the power of the Dark Lord. Even so, I still couldn't hurt Bronya. No, this can't be true. No way. My sister is not the Dark Lord. Is there any problem with the stream? I just got a notification, but I don't think there is anything wrong. It's okay. Celie frantically clutched through her for a moment, then stepped back and picked up her weapon, her eyes filled with tears. You must be the Dark Lord's minion. You disguised yourself as an adventurer and came here to trick me. You lied to Miss Waterchin, and now you try to lie to me. You are the true Dark Lord, aren't you? Calm down, Celie. Stelter, my sister is not the Dark Lord. You know that, don't you? This woman here, she is the cunning Dark Lord. My sister must have been taken captive by her. Celie. I'm Bronya's friend. I taught her how to fight, and I had been fighting alongside her. I don't want to believe it as much as you, but the truth is the truth. Your sister, the Bronya we know, no longer exists. Fuhr's roar suddenly cooled Celie down. She knew from the bottom of her heart that Fuhr was not the Dark Lord's minion, and didn't lie to them. She just couldn't believe the cruel truth. Anyways, this has been an interesting story, but it's none of my business. And this Dragon Slayer becomes the dragon kind of drama. It's so 20 years ago. Delta carelessly waved a hand and started to walk down the mountain. Seely, if you want to find out and see the truth with your own eyes, you can come with me. I'll help you one last time. But if you already lost all courage to face the truth, then just stay. I'm leaving either way. One thing is for sure though. It doesn't matter to me whether the Dark Lord in that castle is Bronya or not. I'll kill her, he, it, if they get in my way. No, you can't do that! Delta, you underestimate the Dark Lord. There's no way you could defeat her on your own. You never know until you try, am I right? Just then, an adventurer from the base came. Poor Senpai, our base is surrounded by hordes of monsters, at least 3 times as many as last time. Go back now and help. I'll be right there. Seely, if you couldn't believe what I said no matter what, go to the Dark Castle with Delta. See the truth with your own eyes. Puha then left in the direction of the base. So what are your plans next? Stay here or go with me? I don't know. I already found the answer I've been looking for, but... I'm going back to the base. I want to help the adventurers. Are you sure about this? Anya would make the same choice. She would definitely choose to fight the monsters and protect everyone. I want to be like my sister. I want to become a real adventurer who fights fearlessly, protect his world. I have to say, you're already a real adventurer. Alright, I guess I could use some warm-up before the final fight. I'll go to the base with you and do them a favor. Miss Delta. Hey, idiot Jin. Are you really gonna stay here? Yeah, just go without me. I'd like to be alone for a while. Moments later, outside the adventurer's base. Fight as hard as you can, we're in no place to retreat. Defeat the monsters and defend the world behind us. Nice slogan, but I don't see any Honkai beasts getting properly beaten up. Delta, Seely, what are you two doing here? We're here to help, to protect this world. Well, I'm just here to warm up. Anyway, let's beat some monsters. We're losing the daylight. Puha Senpai. Don't come close. Huh? There's something unusual about the number and moving pattern of the monsters. It feels as if the Dark Lord is leading them. Something must be brewing up in the Dark Lord's castle. Bronya, the Dark Lord must be making a move. Delta, you're indeed the strongest adventurer I've ever met. You shouldn't be wasting your time here. Go to the castle and defeat the Dark Lord. We'll deal with these monsters. Alright, I'm bored anyway. Time to do something more challenging. Seely, I'm asking you one last time. Do you want to go to the Dark Castle with me? If you still want to find your sister, doesn't matter whether she's the Dark Lord, this is your last chance. I'm going with you, but Fuha Senpai and the adventurers are still fighting the monsters. I can't just leave like this. You have to make a choice, Seely. We hereby declare Judgment Day. A myriad of blue water spears rained down on the monsters with the cry. Ha! You're actually not that useless, idiot Jin. Miss Water Jin. Go to the castle with Delta, Seely. You have to be there for your sister, no matter what. But don't worry, I'll stay here and fight these monsters with them. Just like what my sister used to do. Huh. You finally made a proper warrior. Delta, I still don't like you, but thank you for helping Seely and this world. Go to the castle, defeat the Dark Lord, and protect this world. We need no more war or bloodshed. You've got to be kidding me, idiot Jin. Huh? I've told you like a million times, I'm not some adventurer. Ask someone else to protect this world. Huh? Relax. I'm still going to go to the Dark Castle. Ask for the Dark Lord. I'll see what I can do. but I'm not promising anything. Hey! Miss Delta and Miss Waterchin haven't changed a bit. Well then, let's go, Seely. Was that floating elves for? I think it was, right? Yeah. Well, so remains Dark Castle. Seely, we're almost there. Everything will be okay, Seely. The Bronya will be back soon. The adventurers will defeat the Dark Lord. Bronya, wait for me. But if the Bronya doesn't come back, Seely, don't come looking for the Bronya. Bronya. How is this? Bronya. On the throne in the castle sat a young girl, Sonia. She was tightly holding the egg in her arms, with a relieved smile on her face, as if she had fallen asleep contentedly. Bronya. Seely shuffled through the throne to the throne. Goddamn water. Goddamn water chin getting in my throat. What happened to you? Seely did not understand what she saw. She slowly raised her hand and tried to touch the girl on the throne. It was cold. Seely instantly withdrew her hand, as if she just got burned. Seely, stay away from that statue. Seely! However, Seely could no longer hear her. She embraced the girl on the throne desperately. I'm so sorry, Bronya. Sorry it took me so long to finally find you. But the girl on the throne did not respond to her words or tears. You never take good care of yourself. You shouldn't be sleeping here. You'll catch a cold. Time to wake up, my dear Bronya. Let me take you back. We have a warm fireplace and hot soup at home. Oh, and I have made many new friends on the way. I want to introduce you to them. Bronya. Wake up, Bronya. Knowing it would all be futile, Seely kept stroking the statue's face. Her tears fell down on the statue's face and turned cold in an instant. Miss Delta, you always know what to do, so you must know how to wake Bronya up, right? Seely abruptly turned to look at Delta, expectant and desperate. I'm not sure. I mean, you do know something that we could try and might work, right? Calm down, Seely. Seely expectantly clutched the statue's hands. Her hands are so cold. She must be freezing. Miss Delta, if you do know any solution, please help my sister. The smile on her face is so sweet, as if she managed to protect something important. My sweet sister is not the Dark Lord. Go back. A vague voice came from the shade behind the throne. Before Seelie could react, Delta already drew her sword and stood before her. The shade behind the throne spread like black mist, and then condensed into a dark figure. Delta remained vigilant, but the figure formed by the black mist seemed to have no intention to make further moves. Bronya. Stay back, Seelie. But her warning was too late. Seelie's fingertips already came into contact with the egg held by the statue. And the next moment, more black mist suddenly gushed out of the egg and overwhelmed the two girls. Ah! Miss Delta, are you alright? Don't worry, I can deal with it single-handedly. The figure formed by the black mist suddenly took a step towards the two girls. Leave, now. Stay back, Seelie. But she is no longer the Bronya you know. This isn't right. She was obviously attacking me with full strength, but she didn't follow me when I kept my distance from her. Delta retreated to the safe zone, in which she wouldn't be attacked, and started to observe the empty hall. The levitated walls, an ancient throne, and a stone statue of Bronya. Wait, the statue? Delta suddenly realized something she didn't notice before. It was that egg held by the statue that first launched the attack, not Bronya. She tentatively took a step towards the statue, and Bronya immediately made an attack stance. I see. You're protecting that statue, aren't you, Bronya? Eh? But why would Bronya shadow? No, I don't think that's... Dark Lord, not defeated. Bronya seemed to be suffering, and was trying to say something to the two girls. Seelie. Did you just call my name? World will be destroyed. Leave now. Bronya whispered in great pain, but still started to attack them. Meanwhile, a drop of tear suddenly rolled down the statue's face and dripped onto the egg it held. The teardrop infiltrated into the egg, and it let out a short glint like a response. The glint, though brief, was enough for Delta to see what was hiding inside the egg. I see! I should have thought of it earlier. There's nothing else in here after all. She shook her head and blocked Bronya's attack with her sword. Seelie! Don't be distracted for me. I'm able to protect myself. Your sister is not the Dark Lord. Your sister is not the Dark Lord. Huh? Bronya is indeed an adventurer worthy of the name. She went through all the trials and challenged the Dark Lord. And when she found she couldn't beat it, she sacrificed herself to protect the world. Like an idiot. So, that statue is really my sister? Yeah, I don't know how she turned into that. But it seems that she did successfully seal that thing inside the egg. So the Dark Lord is still in that egg? Yeah, but I think Bronya could hardly hold this form anymore. This shadow is obviously straining herself, which suggests that her life is wearing out. Bronya's shadow became even mistier as the two girls talked. At the moment, it seemed that the shadow had become too weak to attack anyone. Bronya can still hold it. A broken voice echoed in the empty castle. Seelie, go back. Seelie blankly stared at the statue. Then she turned to Delta, as if she suddenly thought of something. Miss Delta, can we save Bronya by breaking that egg? I think so. The seal will be disabled if we break the egg, and Bronya will therefore be freed. But we will also free the Dark Lord, and it might destroy the world. Bronya chose to sacrifice herself. What should I do? Should I choose to accept my sister's sacrifice? No, a real adventurer should make the same choice as Bronya did. I've already grown. Delta did not say a word. He just gazed at Seelie in silence, waiting for her to make her own choice. But I couldn't do it. She breathed a sigh of relief. I'm selfish. I don't want to sacrifice myself to save the world like Bronya did. No, I don't want anyone to sacrifice. Miss Delta, you must think I'm useless. You've helped me so much and trained me for so long, but I still failed to become a real adventurer. Though I know I couldn't do it, I really want to save my sister. I don't want the world to be destroyed. I don't want to give up anyone. Then go save your sister, and find a way to save this world too. Eh? Seelie turned to Delta, didn't meet her eyes. Delta leaned on her greatsword and calmly stared at the statue, or something further away. Go save your sister, Seelie. It's what you have to do, and no one else has the right to do it. As for this bubble universe, it's none of my business what it becomes, but since things already went like this... Delta scratched her head and let out a sigh. To complete my mission, I guess I'll have to save this dull world by the way. Huh? I never said they couldn't be saved at the same time. Delta turned around to look at Seelie. You're right, Seelie. You're not like Bronya, but it doesn't mean you aren't a real adventurer. At that time, Bronya might have to choose to sacrifice. Bronya might have to choose to sacrifice herself to save this world. You said you didn't want anyone to sacrifice for this world. It's naive to think that way for sure, but it's not wrong. Lucky for you, it doesn't automatically require someone to make the final sacrifice to save something. Miss Delta. Ah, when did I become this mouthy? Never mind. Huh? I told you I came to look for something, but I never told you what it is. It's the Dark Lord. To be precise, something that's been consumed by the Dark Lord. So, you know how to defeat the Dark Lord? Delta did not answer her. He just picked up her greatsword and started to walk towards Bronya's statue. That fading shadow already lost all strength to attack her. Wait, Miss Delta, let me help you. You do what you should do, Seelie. After I disable the seal, protect your sister. As for that Dark Lord in this egg, it's my mission to get rid of it. I don't like people telling me what to do when I'm working. But don't worry, Seelie. Delta raised her greatsword and gave a rare smile. It's not my first time to deal with this kind of enemy. Seelie, now I can answer those questions. There is more than one way to defeat the Dark Lord. It all depends on my choice. Several days later. I should have turned off the transceiver before I get in here. What is it? Yeah, that was quick, because in the real game there was a battle there, which was played. But obviously they couldn't put that into the story. Just to let you know that I have received your mission report, and welcome back, Delta. FYI, turning off the transceiver won't work. I can still use the exclusive emergency line. Yeah, I got it. You have the utmost privilege and all access. Just read the report already. It has all the info you need to know. I'm busy. Talk to you later. Wait, Delta. What? I'm taking a bath. Not in the mood to talk about work. I'd like to hear your opinion on this mission. My opinion? I don't remember you care about something like this. You only care about the result, not the process. People change. But you won't. Anyway, if you really want to know, I can tell you. In short, this mission is like a typical role-playing game. Adventurers go through difficulties to eventually defeat the Dark Lord and save the princess. Those kind of story. The only thing that's kinda interesting is the final boss, but it's still hardly any challenge. It's mentioned in the report that the target had been consumed and assimilated by that Honkai beast. Yeah, and that's the main reason why I chose to abort the retrieval mission. We don't need something polluted. Then what are the other reasons? Huh? You said the main reason, so what are the other reasons? You don't have to always be so acute, seriously. There is no other reason. That was just a slip of the tongue. Relax! I didn't do anything to anyone in that bubble universe. They could handle their own problems. Just then, someone knocked at the bathroom door. Miss Delta, I just finished my 200 push-ups. Can I get in the tub with you now? Already? I don't know you could do push-ups this fast. Are you sure you didn't just do 80 and lied about it? I told you Miss Delta wouldn't believe you, Rosa Idiotka. But my legs hurt, my hands hurt, and my back. Everywhere hurts. Can you just let me in and take the bath with you, Miss Delta? Pretty please! Rosa Idiotka, you know it won't work on Miss Delta. It might backfire though. A sudden dull thud came from inside of the bathroom. It seemed Delta just hurled a bottle of shampoo at the door. Go away and do another 200. I see you have something to deal with right now. It's already dealt with. Or if there is no new mission lately, I'm gonna go investigate that. No, Delta. There's no need for you to meet him at the moment. Huh? But I wanna. I said drop that case, Delta. It's an order. Fine, whatever. Are you done? Can I hang up now? Wait, Delta. I have one more thing to say. It's important. And just say it already. You've spoiled most of my bath time. Keep the bath short, or you'd feel dizzy. Yo. That communication was cut before she could snap back. Ah, so annoying. I'm sorry you had to see this. Her tail surfaced and wagged, as if it was giving a response. It's alright. Don't force yourself to accept the new me. You have the right to hate me. You will definitely hate to see me like this. Her tail gently fell onto her hand, as if it was comforting her. Me? I don't know if I like my new self. I had no other choice since that day, am I right? Her eyes turned blank for a second. I know what path I'm trekking on. and I know you wouldn't like it, but I... Her tail dived back and splashed water to her face, as if it was showing its displeasure. But she just gazed at the bathroom ceiling, deeply lost in thought. A long bath does make me dizzy. Split personality, you say? I mean, yes, between her and the tail, but I don't think that Rosalia and Lilia we heard were split personality. I think they are just instances from different alternate bubble universes. But maybe old dreams will tell us more about that. Right? Because, after all, this should be Delta's story. What she seeks is but a dream. Where will she go after the dream ends? Watch Delta's personal story under the Old Dreams tab. Watch Celia and Delta's adventure story under the Adventures join tab. Let's have a story. It's a story about two sisters. One afternoon 4 years ago, Special Care Unit, Third Hospital of St. Freya. After the second daily examination, she always spent half an hour reading. For the past 297 days, since she could move, it had been a part of her daily routine. But this time, for some reason, she fell asleep when reading. It was a very deep sleep. She didn't wake up when someone opened the door of the ward. It was another girl. She seemed surprised to see the girl asleep on the bed. Then she softly closed the door. She soundlessly walked to her, sat down on a chair by the bed, picked up a fruit nightstand and started to violently pare an apple. Obviously, she wasn't good at what she was doing. The apple peels she pared off were thick, some even chunky. Idiotka, are you trying to chop your own fingers? You, of course not. Eh? You're awake? Uh-huh. I woke up when you sat down. I didn't make any sounds, because I wanted to see what surprise my dear sister got me this time. Heh, prepare to adopt your jaw. I spent 3 nights learning this apple bunny magic from Isabella. Ta-da! She proudly handed the apple to her little sister, which was basically an apple core at the moment. Not this one. She hurriedly took the apple core back, took a huge bite of it. I swear I know how to make a bunny out of an apple. Let me try again. Idiotka, give those poor apples a break. I'm already happy that you're back safe and sound. Aha! You don't need to worry about me. Your big sis is a super strong fighter now. I can beat 10 people all at once. Okay. I defended an entire gate on my own this time. There were so many enemies, but your big sis... Alright. I got it, Idiotka. I single-handedly fought them all off. I was like BAM! And then BANG! And they were like... Yeah, I know you're an awesome fighter now. You don't have to keep telling me that. Sorry, I didn't mean that. It's okay, my bad. I shouldn't have been telling you this on and on. I know you don't like hearing about this kind of thing, but somehow I just couldn't help sharing them with you. Maybe it's because I'm too excited that I finally see you again. Sorry. No, it's not your fault. It's me. Alright, I got another big surprise for you. I almost forgot. She excitedly interrupted her, taking out a huge heavy book from her backpack. I saw a huge bookstore on the way, so I bought this for you. The Feynman lecture on physics. Yep, I leafed through it, but I didn't understand a thing. But Sophia told me it's super popular among kids of our age. Huh? What's so funny? Idiotka, It's a college textbook. You were tricked by Sophia, as usual. But Sophia and the girls were all like, "Darn it, this is all over." Calm down, idiotka. I'll finish this book. Maybe I'll like it. Uh-huh. I gotta pick this bone with them right now. Don't leave. Stay with me for a little longer. I wanna hear your stories of this mission. She stayed in that ward for a long, long time that day. After the sun had set, she still didn't finish all the anecdotes about her latest mission. Isabella and I were both trapped in that building until... Visiting hours are over, Lieutenant. Huh? Already? I still got a lot of stories to tell my sister. It's okay. You can tell them next time you come visit me. It's almost time for my treatment. I need to go get ready. I can't let the doctors and nurses wait. As she feebly dragged herself out of bed, her big sister suddenly gripped her hand. Please get well soon. You have to get well soon. I will. Actually, I already feel much better lately. Yesterday the nurse took me out to see red leaves. I can walk now. It's not what I meant. Huh? I mean when I was fighting. It's been so long, but I still couldn't get used to fighting alone. Isabella, Sofia, Maria, I tried to fight with them, but it just didn't feel right, no matter how hard I tried. It felt like something important was missing. I know. In the past, when we fought together, I wasn't as good as I am now, but I always felt spirited and full of strength. I know. I used to feel the same. So, you have to get well soon. Because without you... I'm sorry, Lieutenant, but you have to leave now. Visiting hours are over. Alright, I'll come visit you again tomorrow. I'll bring you blueberries, your favorite. Uh-huh. See you tomorrow. She slowly stood up, slowly walked towards the door, and left the ward as slowly as possible. The other girl was left alone in the ward again, just like before her sister came. The elevator is broken. You can take the stairs here. Miss Nurse, my sister. Oh, don't worry. She's getting much better. If things go well, she may be discharged next week. Oh, really? Thank you. But... Huh? That experiment inflicted more damage on her than we expected. We've been doing everything we can to treat her, but at best we are only able to restore her to health for now. What does that mean? I mean, she might not be able to fight like before. Moreover, the sequelae induced by the experiment may continue to affect her for 3 to 5 years, worst case scenario. You've got to be kidding me! She clutched at the nurse's collar with all her strength, as if she was trying to strangle her. Please, Lieutenant, calm down. But you promised to cure her no matter what. I was a subject of the experiment too. You can do research on me to find a cure for her. You're joking me. She suddenly realized what she was doing, so she let go of the nurse immediately. I'm so sorry. I was just... It's all right, Lieutenant. I understand. But don't worry. The marshal already contacted the school and arranged her enrollment. But she can go to school like a regular child after her discharge. I know it's not how you wish for, but it's the best we can do for her at the moment. Does my sister know about this? I think so. The marshal came yesterday. You know her. She probably had told your sister everything. She teetered back until the back was against the wall and feebly sat on the ground. Damn it. Damn it. She started to desperately punch the ground with her bare hands. I'm sorry, Lieutenant, but I'm sure Marshal Kokolia has taken your sister's well-being into consideration. Whoa. Damn it, I'm such a moron. and the biggest moron in the whole world. She started to madly pull her own hair, the back of her hands covered in scratches. Lieutenant, please don't be like this. Damn it. I can't believe I just said those things to her. There was nothing left to do other than to escape. Where could she run? She had no idea, but she dared not stop. If the buildings fell down, she could run towards open spaces. If the ground shattered, she could run towards where it's still solid. If the sky was torn, she could run towards where it's still intact. Running away was the only way. She could not look back. She could never stop. Because that would only mean despair or death. So she had no choice but to keep running. Christmas, 4 years ago, downtown St. Freya. Bravo 1 calling for reinforcements. We are heading to the evacuation point along Central Avenue. Repeat, Bravo 1 calling for reinforcements. Damn it, those bastards. Still no response. Screw those chickens. If no one's coming for us, we just keep running. Okay. Just 2 blocks away from the garage. I have access to it. Let's go get an armored car and get out of here. She finally fell down in the thick snow, gasping for air, which should have happened long ago. She was in no condition to go anywhere, let alone keep running like that. She gritted her teeth against the pain and strained to run this far, but she couldn't move an inch further. Are you alright? Can you still walk? Hang in there, we're almost... Just go without me. You can still make it on your own. There's no time for the both of us. What are you talking about? Come on, let me give you a piggyback. We can... Ow! She reached out her hand to her, but was bitten the next moment. What the hell? Just run without me. There's no time for the both of us. You idiot. You don't understand. You're right, I'm an idiot. I'm not the smart one, but I know I'm your big sister. It's my job to protect you. As long as I'm still alive, I'll get you out of here. Nothing can stop me, not even your sharp teeth. Big idiot. Ah! Just run! Are they here already? Let me help you. No! Don't come close. Huh? She tossed the car to her sister while resisting the monster's attack. Take my ID card. That was the wrong button. That was the wrong button. Clickety click clack clack clack. Take my ID card. Run if you still could, or walk. Go to the garage and use it to get an armored car. And get the hell out of here. But you... Don't worry about me, just leave. I can still hold them up for a while. I can't do that. Those monsters are... Let me help you fight them. I said just go! But... You're too weak to fight them. It'd be pointless for you to stay here. Just leave without me. I'll catch you up later. Stop wasting time here. She seemed to have a lot to say, but she didn't open her mouth in the end. She clutched the ID card, staggered to her feet, and feebly limped away. You idiot. She must have escaped. Can't believe I just said that to her. I probably won't have any chance to apologize. But I guess it's alright. It's not the only apology that I owe her anyway. Come to think of it, I've been a terrible big sister to you. As the sensations gradually faded away, her body temperature also started to drop. However, she suddenly heard a rush of approaching footsteps. Who could it be? She tried to raise her weapon, but failed to even move her hand. Footsteps then halted in front of her. Guess who's back? Back again. Shock, anger, self-reproach. She didn't know how she felt at the time, or how she was supposed to feel. She had never expected, no. She should have known that she would come back. I found her, Doctor. Over here. Ah! She wanted to yell at her, to leave this dangerous area, but blood clogged her throat. She couldn't make a sound. The coldness in the air slowly penetrated into her body, forcing her to close her eyes. She finally managed to slightly regain consciousness and started to pick up this repetitious sound. Where's my sister? What is this place? What time is it? Where have those monsters gone? She had so many questions to ask, and the answer to the first one was revealed right away. She could feel that her sister's warm hand was holding her icy hand. I'm ready, Doctor. Is there anything you want to say to her? We still have time. I don't know what to say. I guess it's because I have too much to say. And I somehow feel that I might have another chance to say to her in the future. So, Doctor, let's do this. Please cure her. She didn't know what was happening, but she felt her hand was gripped more tightly, as if the other girl was afraid of losing her. I respect your choice, but I have to remind you one more time. First of all, you are the one who is, not her. Second, there's no turning back for both of you. I understand. Thank you, Doctor. I already made up my mind. She says it's the big sister's job to protect her little sister, but I think it should be both ways. I see. Close your eyes. I'll make it quick. Okay. The grip on her hand became so tight that her hand even hurt. But the pain was soon replaced by a warm sensation welling up from her palm. The warmth gently enfolded her, just like how her sister used to embrace her. She slowly closed her eyes again. Recording started. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Yes, welcome back, Delta. How was the mission? It was kinda boring. Really? I thought you'd like the lantern fair and the idol culture of that bubbled universe. Lantern fair. Well, it turns out I don't. Alright, let's get down to business, Delta. Please report the results of the mission. Retrieval failed. Go on. Before I arrived at that bubble universe, that thing was already damaged. Who did it? I don't know yet. Some kind of giant creature, perhaps. I've done some inspections. There were huge claw scores and burn marks everywhere. Or it could be a human sabotage. I don't think so, unless the perpetrator was trying to mislead someone. That thing wasn't completely broken. When I got there, some of its functions were still working, in a weird way. It had generated countless humanoids and controlled them to eliminate anyone who did not belong to that bubble universe. So you were attacked too? Yeah. But those humanoids were just sloppy craftsmanship. Beating them didn't even count as a warm-up. As for that thing, it was broken and useless anyway, so I left it there to spawn something fun. You did the right thing. Yeah, I'm not a noob. I know what I should do. Any other intel? Oh, I have 3 more things to report. They probably count as 2 things, or 3. I don't know. Anyway, our data suggests that bubble universe had Witnessed many time distortions occurrences before I arrived, but I didn't see any time-related anomalies there. The second thing to report happened 40 minutes later after I entered that bubble universe. A few people left that bubble universe by some means. I don't have the number yet, but the energy fluctuations indicate it be no more than 3. What's the third thing that you wanted to report? I brought 2 girls from that bubble universe. What? They were being attacked by those humanoids when I saw them, so I saved them. Then they started to follow me everywhere. They were like, "This place is the worst. Wah! Take us with you, pretty place." I believe you have dozens of excuses to reject them. And I was expecting you to reject them. I know, but it's complicated. Anyway, I brought them here. They're taking a bath right now. Do you want to meet them later? Relax. I will take care of them. They won't give you trouble. It's not part of your mission. That's exceeding your authority. Don't call me by that name. I just want to remind you not to do what you think, not to do what you shouldn't do. I said don't call me by that name. Calm down, Delta. This is not like you. At least not like the regular version of you. What are you going to do to them? Nothing. I told you. I just wanted to remind you not to do what you shouldn't do. Just don't make a habit of it. As for the girls you brought back, make sure they are only your problem, not anyone else's. Huh. Oh, and the target of your next mission has been confirmed. You'll receive the anchor coordinates soon. Until then, you're free to have your own plans. You're giving me a long vacation rather than a punishment. This is not like you. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Your vacation has been cut by 70%. What? Enjoy your vacation, Delta. Hey, wait! So yeah, those 2 were definitely real in the bath scene. And also it seems she might have been in some of the bubble universes we have already seen. And might have taken those 2 from the last big adventure they won, where they dropped into the hole at the end. I'm just making guesses. Password requested to access the file. Enter password. Well, it's not one of the passwords I can think of. It's not Rosalian, it's not Olenieva, I think. No, it's too long for everything I can think of. Password confirmed. Lorem ipsum dora sit amet constactum. Good use of Lorem ipsum. It's 11 asterisks. Oh, good password. I'm just looking if there's anything hidden between all that lorem ipsum, but I don't think there is. Subject code name Delta. Subject name redacted. Experiment details. Time redacted. Subject underwent the operation and recovered well. No rejection reaction has been observed. Redacted days after the operation, subject developed symptoms of lower fever and projectile vomiting. Tentative diagnosis, post-operative rejection. Examination has found out the Honkai factors in the subject were implanted approximately redacted years ago. Diagnosis revised. Pseudo-rejection symptoms persist. Redacted hours later, subject developed erythema on her entire body and other allergic symptoms including shock. On the day, subject suffered a total of 23 shock occurrences. Symptoms appear more intense when subject was asleep. Redacted days after the operation, subject was diagnosed with emotional hypersensitivity. Allergen, subject dreams. Category post-traumatic stress disorder. Cognitive behavioral adjuvant drug treatment has been carried out. Effect subpar. From day redacted to day redacted after the operation, subject suffered from insomnia for over 3 consecutive days. Subject suffered mild cognitive disturbances and claimed to be painting the wall to make a backdrop for the next tour. No visible pigments could be observed on the ward wall, but Honkai factors have been detected. Subject's rejection and allergic symptoms receded. Redacted days after the operation, the color exposure experiment has been conducted on the subject. Experiment details. Access denied. Results of experiment. Subject is now capable of adeptly exerting emotional factors in battle. The request of redacted. A fluorescent protein reagent has been infused into subject's weapon to turn the emotional factors into visible pigments. Emotional factor is presumed to be a combination of the manifestation of subject's emotions and her internal Honkai factors. The generation of emotional factors is related to subject's emotional hypersensitivity, and the release is related to subject's pseudo-rejection. Comparative tests have shown the symptoms of subject's pseudo-rejection and emotional hypersensitivity were significantly alleviated after battle. Pigment is only a designation rather than the literal reference of the word. The main constitution of pigment is emotional factors. The rest are unknown. The adhesion of pigment is time-related. Preliminary findings. Contact with the pigments can lead to stress-induced emotional contagion. Contact symptoms disappear as the pigments fade away. Due to the small sample size, the research is still in progress. And that is how we got Delta. There's still some things they didn't tell us about her. A lot of redacted things. So I'm sure she will return in other stories. Anyways, I kept one last fighting ticket for the day. Because I realized that this final mission is still accessible. And I wanted to show off this boss. Coatl Revenant attacks create collapse points on the field. Get near one to attract it onto the Valkyrie. That's quite a disappointment. I better start thinking of how to write operation report. Thank you for everything, Miss Delta. I'll look after my sister. Well then. Take care, Seely. Oh, guess I should call you Master Adventurer. So yeah, that's the boss battle that we didn't get. Which is a very weird looking Honkai beast whose mechanics I don't really understand, because just beating it works, so why think a lot? Sure was a boss. I mean, it had a huge tail. So it might have been a Lilia of some kind. Who knows? So why did this not trigger? We all stole the clips of Emerald Woods. Do I have to find them elsewhere? Oh. I guess there's more things. I'm assuming there's fights here. Yeah. The moon goddess who shields the Emerald Woods. Answer my prayers and bestow your blessings on me. I guess I could have just played through the story instead of reading it in the thing. If you're forcing me to play through the story. Guess we are having a boss rush to end off the day. all the fights we should have had. Bam.
私を探してる？焦ることはない。すぐに再会できるよ。
I'd love to zoom out of the map to see where the next story is. What was that one? Somewhere in ruins, probably. Yeah. Are we gonna fight Alice? Those who hurt Alice's friends are bad people. Bad people shouldn't be here. Alice will protect this place. Guards, trap her, stop her, catch her. Can't get any more boring. Guards are down, but it's okay. Alice has more guards. Alice will protect this place. Guards all fell. Alice can still protect this place.
任務完了。今から私たちの問題を解決しよう。
Story in Floating Isles. What boss could there be here? Ronja is the new Dark Lord. Is it protecting the camp? Or... yeah, probably because Fuwa is here helping us. I'm surprised that Dark Sealy was not part of this story at all. Like, I half expected her to get possessed by the Dark Lord at the end of the story. Watch out! More monsters! Okay, have enough. Oh, more of them are coming. Why did we need 20 enemies? I didn't ask for 20 enemies. Go, senpai! Okay, that's all the quests. And all the battles. Guess I can buy up the rest of the shop then. Yay! Come on, 3 more. 3 more carriages. Can do it. I'm sure you can do it.
今週もいい働きぶりだったわね。一杯どう？
No drinks. Never drinks. Sandy cabbage. Cactus cabbage. 1 more. Done for the day. Great. That's it. That's the end of the world. As we know it. Well, that took longer than expected. I don't know what I did expect though. For some reason I thought there wasn't much story to this, but there sure was a lot of story. Yeah, okay. Go meet the end of the world. I will go meet the end of the world as well. Good night, and thank you for watching. Whew. Redacted.